Now I'm going to demonstrate how to change a flat tire. Many people think changing a flat tire is a difficult, undoable task, but it's actually pretty easy, and every driver should know how to do it in case of an emergency. When you get a flat tire, you need to immediately turn on your hazard lights and find a safe, flat surface to park your vehicle. You need to be as far away from traffic as possible. It's extremely dangerous to change a flat tire near traffic, which is why it's important to park away from the road. If you're on an interstate or a highway, drive to an exit, even if it means to drive on a flat tire. You cannot change a flat tire on a hill or incline, so make sure you're parked on a flat surface. For safety, you will put your vehicle's parking brake on and secure the vehicle diagonal from the flat. You can place bricks, wooden blocks, rocks, or wheel chocks on both sides of the tire. Now that your vehicle is secure, locate your spare tire. It may be in the trunk or on the rear panel. If you can't find it, consult your owner's manual. This is a picture of all the tools you will need to change your flat tire. You should have these in your car at all times. At the bottom of the screen is your jack, used to raise your vehicle. The long metal piece next to the jack is the lug wrench used to loosen the bolts. The small circular thing is the locking lug key adapter for the locking lug nut. The black thing in the corner is a wheel chock used to secure your wheel. The small black stick is a gauge used to check tire air pressure. If there's a hubcap on your wheel, you will need to remove it by prying it off with the sharp end of your wrench. You will use the wrench to loosen the lug nuts on the wheel. You need to place your wrench over the nut and turn it counterclockwise once. If it's too tight to loosen, try putting your body weight into it or stand on the wrench. Only turn it once, you're just loosening it. You will do this with each nut until you come across one that looks different than the others. The normal wrench won't work, which is when you use the locking key adapter. You will put the locking key adapter over the different nut, and it will allow you to use your normal wrench to loosen the nut. Again, it may be tight and you will have to stand on it or put your body weight into it. Once you loosen all of the lug nuts, you will need to lift your vehicle off the ground using the jack. Each vehicle has a certain place to secure the jack. If you don't know where that is, you need to consult your vehicle's owner manual. It is really important to use the jack in the proper location. If it's misplaced, it could damage your vehicle. Once you know where it goes, you will need to secure it into place. You may have to guide it with your hand to keep it in the right place as you begin to crank it. You will turn the handle clockwise to crank the jack. Cranking the jack will lift the vehicle. You need to make sure the vehicle is high enough off the ground in order to remove the flat tire and fully install the spare. Once you get your vehicle high enough, you can fully remove the lug nuts. You need to put them somewhere safe to ensure that you don't lose them. You might still need to crank them because they weren't quite loose enough, but be careful because your vehicle is not on the ground. Once all the nuts are off, you will remove the tire. It may be heavy, so be careful and use both hands, gently laying the tire on the ground. Now you will put the spare tire onto the wheel. You need to make sure that the stickers are facing out. The tire is going to be heavy, and so you need to use both hands and be careful while you put it onto the wheel. Once it's on, you're going to be turning it until you find the wheel bolts. This may be tricky, so be careful. Once the tire is properly aligned, you will use the lug nuts to secure the tire to the wheel. Tighten them as much as you can by hand before using the wrench. Once you tighten the lug nuts as much as you can with your hand, you will use the wrench. Remember, you're not safely on the ground yet, so don't put all your body weight into it. Once you've tightened all the nuts, you're now going to lower your vehicle. You'll do this by turning the jack's handle counterclockwise until it comes loose. Once your vehicle is on the ground, you will place the flat tire and the tools you used back into your vehicle. You have successfully changed your tire, but drive with caution because spare tires aren't full size. They're a lot smaller, meaning that they have a lot of restrictions. You should consult your owner's manual for full restrictions. The last thing I'll be teaching you is how to jump start a battery. If you forget to turn off a light in your vehicle while the engine isn't running, your battery may die. When a vehicle's battery is dead, nothing will happen when you turn it on. The vehicle won't make any sounds. If this happens, it's really easy to fix, thankfully. You will just need to jump start it. In order to do this, you will need a working car and jumper cables. It is smart to always keep jumper cables in your vehicles in case of emergencies. Park the working vehicle as close as you can to the disabled one. They need to be very close but can't touch. Once you do this, you will open the hood of each vehicle and locate the battery. On most vehicles, it will be near the front, but if you can't find it, consult the owner's manual. If the battery is damaged, call a mechanic and don't continue. Once you have found the battery, identify the positive and negative terminals. They will usually be marked by a plus and minus sign. Now, get your jumper cables and untangle them. You'll need to locate the positive and negative clamps. The positive clamp will be red and the negative clamp will be black. Connect the cables, making sure the clamps don't touch each other. First, connect the positive clamp to the positive terminal of the dead battery. Connect the other positive clamp to the positive terminal of the working battery. Now connect the negative clamp to the negative terminal of the working battery. Now take the negative clamp and connect it to a piece of metal on the dead battery's car. You don't connect it to the negative terminal because it releases gas. Now make sure the cables aren't dangling into the engine and start the working car. Rev the engine by pressing down on the gas pedal every few seconds. Do this for about a minute. Now try to start the disabled vehicle. If it does not turn on, then turn off the engine of the working car, adjust the cables, and try again after 5 minutes. If the disabled vehicle does turn on, then it worked. Leave the cables on for a few more minutes and then remove them in the reverse order you put them on. First, remove the negative cable from the disabled car, then the negative cable from the working car, then the positive cable from the working car, and finally, the positive cable from the recently disabled vehicle. Once you remove the cables, you can lower the hood on each vehicle. You need to make sure that the recently disabled vehicle's engine runs for another 20 minutes, making sure the battery is fully charged. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you learned something. I hope all the young drivers out there feel fully capable of performing any of these tasks. And remember, safety's first, so ask for help if you feel like you need it.